Morning, girls. Now we are going to start a new chapter, and that is chapter number 9, that is respiration in organisms. Girls, we all know that we need energy to perform various activities, right? For everything that we perform, we need energy, and this energy we get from food. This we know very well. Okay, now before we come what is respiration, let's understand what is breathing. Sometimes the students, they get confused between the breathing and the respiration. They think the breathing and the respiration are one and the same thing. No, breathing is just a part of the respiration. Respiration is a much elaborate process. So first understand what is breathing. Breathing is simply the taking in oxygen, that is called inhalation. Okay, the term used for taking in oxygen is called inhalation, and giving out carbon dioxide, that is called exhalation. So these two terms are very important. What is inhalation? This is the taking in the oxygen, and exhalation is giving out of the carbon dioxide. Breathing is just the combination of these two processes. That is, taking in the oxygen and giving out the carbon dioxide is called breathing. Okay? It is a part of respiration. Now, what do you mean by respiration? First, we will understand that when we take in the oxygen, it goes to the various cells of the body, and there that oxygen is used to break down the food. And when the food is broken down, we get energy out of it. That energy is used to carry out all the activities, right? For running, for walking, for studying, for seeing anything, for everything, for doing a work, we need energy, and that energy we get from the food. And what helps in the breakdown of the food? The oxygen. Oxygen is used to break down the food to release that energy. Okay, and this whole process is known as respiration. Respiration includes the taking in the oxygen, then that oxygen is carried to the cells. There, the oxygen helps in the breaking down of the food to give the energy, and from the cells, then the carbon dioxide is taken out, and finally, it is exhaled out through our nose. Okay, so this whole process is called respiration. It is not simply taking in the oxygen and giving out the carbon dioxide. No, there is a difference. So we can say that there are actually three phases of respiration. What are those three phases? First is the external respiration. External respiration is simply the breathing, the taking, inhaling and exhaling, taking in the oxygen and giving out the carbon dioxide through the nose. So that is the external respiration. Then we come to the internal respiration. This phase includes the oxygen that we have taken inside through the nose. That oxygen is carried to the cells, to the various cells of the body. Okay? And from the cells, after the food has been broken down, when the carbon dioxide is released, from the cells it is taken out. That is part of internal respiration only. When it goes out from the nose, then it becomes breathing. Okay? And the third phase is cellular respiration. In the cellular respiration, what happens? The oxygen that has gone to the cells, that helps in the breaking of the food within the cell with the oxygen to release the energy. That is called cellular respiration. So these are the three phases of respiration. Breathing is just a part of the respiration. So let's understand the difference between the respiration and breathing. First, they say that there is a release of energy at the end of respiration. Okay. Breathing, there is no release of energy. It is simply taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. Respiration, it is an intercellular process. It takes place inside the cells. Though breathing is also a part of respiration, but basically respiration is an intercellular process. Why? Because it helps in the breaking down of the food within the cells. And breathing, it is an extracellular process. It takes place between the organism and its environment. That means we are taking in the oxygen from the environment, any organism, and it giving out the carbon dioxide. So it is an interaction between the organism and the environment. Here the cells are not getting involved. Third, respiration is a biochemical process involving the breakdown of the food. Okay, here it is a physical process only, involving only the inhalation and exhalation. So that is the difference between respiration and breathing. This is also very important topic. You should know the difference between respiration and breathing. After that, we come to the various organs for breathing in animals. First, we will study the breathing in animals. Now, there are different animals which breathe through their different body parts. There are some animals which breathe through the skin. For example, earthworm, leeches, etc. Now, what happens? Their skin, the walls of their skin is very rich in the blood vessels. The blood vessels, they are present in the skin only. And the skin allows the gaseous exchange. That is taking in the oxygen and giving out the carbon dioxide. This happens through the skin only. Okay, so what happens? There are blood vessels on the skin. Okay, and those blood vessels, they help in the exchange of the gases. Then that blood takes that gases through the different body part. Okay, so the oxygen which is taken inside through the skin is then carried through to all the parts of the body with the help of the blood which is present. The blood vessels are present in the skin only. So that is the breathing through the skin. Then we come to the breathing through the air holes. So there are some organisms like grasshoppers, cockroaches, etc., which have small holes on the sides of their body. And these small holes are called spiracles. This is an important term, girls. You must remember it. The small holes which are present on the sides of the body through which some of the organisms, they breathe, that are called spiracles. Okay, and these spiracles, they are connected to the air tubes, that is trachea. So what happens? The gas, it goes inside the body through the spiracles, then it goes to the trachea. Trachea is the air tube, and then from trachea it goes to all parts of the body. Similarly, when the exchange of the gases takes place, the carbon dioxide which is released out, it comes through from all the parts of the body, it comes to trachea, and from trachea it comes to the spiracles, the small holes, and it goes out of the body. As you can see here in the book, see in this diagram, these are the spiracles, these are the small holes which are present on the skin only, on the body. And from here, the gas enters, and then these are trachea, these are the air tubes which carry that oxygen to all parts of the body. And then from all parts of the body, the carbon dioxide comes out, it comes through the trachea and it goes out through those spiracles only. Okay. Then we have some animals, aquatic animals especially, which breathe through the gills. And fish an example of that. So gills are the special structures which are present on either side of the mouth. And what happens? It takes the oxygen, the fish takes the oxygen which is already dissolved in the water. It takes it through the mouth. From the mouth it goes to the gills. And from gills it goes to the rest part of the body. Okay. Then so there are some animals which breathe through the lungs also. Which are those? Those are the amphibians like the frogs, salamander, newts, etc. Okay, and they are both terrestrial and aquatic animals. They live in the water also, they live on the land also. So they breathe with the lungs. Frog is an example of that. Frog can breathe through lungs also, and frog can breathe through the skin also. Right? When it is outside the water, it breathes through the lungs, and when it is inside, it breathes through the skin also. And sometimes it breathes through the buccal cavity also. Buccal cavity is what? The mouth. We have already learned that. Okay. So these are the organs which are used for breathing in different animals. Now girls, the respiration which takes place through the lungs is called pulmonary respiration. This is very important. You have to learn these terms. Okay. The respiration which takes place through the skin is called cutaneous respiration. And the respiration which takes place through the buccal cavity, the mouth, the lining of the buccal cavity, there is a lining, there is a layer of the buccal cavity through which the respiration takes place, and that is called buccal respiration. Okay. After that, we come to the respiratory system in human beings. So we'll first understand the various parts which are involved in the respiration. Now girls, see here the breathing, the inhaling and the exhaling, the breathing takes place through the nose. Okay, so first the air, or the air which is rich in oxygen, it enters through the nose and it goes into the nasal cavity. This is a nasal cavity which is present near the nose only. From the nasal cavity, the air enters into the windpipe, that is called trachea. Trachea is also called windpipe, or windpipe is also called trachea. From the nasal cavity, it is entering into trachea. Now this trachea, it divides into two parts, and these parts are called bronchi. Okay, the trachea gets divided into two parts, which is called bronchi. These two tubes, which are called bronchi, and the singular is called bronchus. Okay, two, they are called bronchi, and each tube is called bronchus. So each bronchus enters into each lungs. These are the lungs. Is that clear? Then what happens after that? Then this bronchus, which is entering into the lungs, it gets divided into the small tubes. Can you see these tubes here? And these tubes are called bronchioles, right? These tubes are called bronchioles. And what happens at the end of these bronchioles, there are air sacs. There are these are the round structures which are called the air sacs, and they are also called alveoli. Is that clear? In these air sacs, in these round like structures, the exchange of the gases takes place. That means the air reaches from here to these round structures, to these alveoles, and in alveoles the exchange will take place. The oxygen is absorbed and carbon dioxide is given out, right? Now these lungs, what are the lungs? They are protected by the rib. I have not drawn the ribs here because otherwise it would be very confusing. They are protected by the ribs, and that is called the rib cage, right? And at the end of this, at the bottom of this rib cage, there is this muscular structure which is called diaphragm. Now this diaphragm, it separates this chest cavity where the lungs are there from the stomach and the other parts of the digestive system. This is the separation thing which separates lungs or the chest cavity from the digestive system, stomach, intestine, etc. all that. This diaphragm. Okay. So this is also an important term, diaphragm. I hope it is all clear to you, or you can see the detailed structure, the bigger structure here. See here, what is there? This is a trachea. Trachea is getting divided into these bronchi, and each bronchi is called bronchus. Okay, each bronchus is entering into a lung. This bronchus is entering into this lung, and this bronchus is entering into this lung. And then what happens? This bronchus, it gets divided into various small tubes. These tubes are called bronchioles. You can see here, these are bronchioles. And at the end of the bronchioles, there are these round structures which are air sacs where the exchange of gases takes place. These are called alveoli. Okay. Now girls, after that we come to the mechanism of breathing. How does the breathing takes place? So what happens is, and try to understand from this diagram only, or you can understand from here, the diaphragm during the inhalation, when we have to take in the air, what happens? That this diaphragm, it contracts and moves down. This diaphragm moves down. Okay, when it moves down, what happens? The space here, which increases the volume inside the chest cavity when it is moving down. So what is happening? The space here in the chest cavity is getting increased. When it is moving down, the chest cavity, this place, this area or this space will get increased. Okay, the volume is getting increased. The volume is getting increased, the pressure will get decreased. Pressure and volume, they go vice versa. When it is going down, the space or the volume is getting increased, so the pressure gets decreased. So what happens? There is a low pressure over here. So the air from outside, where there is a high pressure as compared to the pressure inside the body, the air from outside, it rushes inside. It comes inside. it fills in these air sacs. It comes from the nasal cavity through the trachea, through these bronchioles and goes into the air sacs. Okay, so this is the inhalation which has taken place. Why? Because diaphragm has moved down, the space has increased, the pressure decreases. So outside pressure, which is more, it pushes the air inside. We inhale the air. Okay, then what happens? Then after that, this diaphragm, it goes back to its place. Okay, so when it goes back to its place, that means the area or the space is getting decreased. When the volume gets decreased, the pressure all increases here. When the pressure is more here, it will force the air to move out, and that causes the exhalation or the giving out of the air. Okay, so this is how the inhalation and the exhalation takes place because of the movement of diaphragm. Okay, this is important. Then the breathing rate, the number of times a person breathes or inhales or exhales air is called the breathing rate. And you know very well, when we do the vigorous exercise or we do the walking or we do the running, then our breathing rate, it increases. Okay, so when the breathing rate, it increases, when one breathes more faster, then the more oxygen is supplied to its cells. Okay, that's why we say we should do more exercises, we should walk fast, we should do the various walking or the breathing exercises. Why? Because when we breathe faster, we need more oxygen. The more oxygen is supplied to our body cells, and more oxygen is there, that means more breakdown of the food will take place, right? And more energy will be released. So that is the breathing rate. Now we will do that activity and the rest part of the chapter in the next session. I hope everything is clear to you.